Hello there, everybody. We have now reached the last and the final um, of the major Sabbaths, and that is Mabon. It is also known as the autumnal equinox or equinox. Um, this is a time when there's balance brought to the world between the light and the dark before the nights grow very long and the days grow very short. Um, This was where the true Thanksgiving, the harvest home, the second of the harvest festivals, and the most important one in the agricultural cultures, as this is when the majority of the harvest came in. The harvest moon is the brightest of all the moons, and a good thing because many farmers had to work long into the night under the light of this moon to get all their harvesting finished in time. Usually the last bit or a small corner of the harvest was left in the fields and not taken up. It was bound and left to stand until the harvest festival, when it would be symbolically sacrificed to represent sacrificed god of vegetation. It was considered unlucky to cut down the very last of the harvest, and so was also left to stand in the field by some traditions. If wheat or grain, um, it was bound tightly and could be dressed in men's clothing and was the forerunner of the scarecrow. A little interesting tidbit for you there. This man was often burned in a sacrifice to the gods as well as animals in a large wicker man. If any of you guys have seen the movie Wicker Man, it's something similar to that, but not necessarily to that extent. Um, in many fields today, you will see one small area left unharvested, as many farmers still believe it to be unlucky to harvest the last corner. Animals are also preparing for the winter, storing food, getting fatter, eating more, and we are also animals, and you will find your body tending toward the same trend. It isn't lack of willpower that puts pounds on you at this time of year. It is centuries of species survival training that tells your body that fat will keep you from starving through the winter. People also get testy, edgy, and more competitive at this time because subconsciously we still see this as the beginning of the lean time. Just as animals compete, butting heads, so do people, and males will especially be more apt to want to be in control of things. This is not sexist, this is ingrained survival of the species. Men at this time would take stock of their hunting equipment to repair or replace whatever they need to in order to provide for their families in the coming winter months. This is the height of the agricultural harvest and the beginning of the hunting time of the year. As the goddess is in the mother stage by this point, bountiful, full, and ripe, so we celebrate this aspect. We celebrate that we have harvested in our lives up to this point. We look to see what has grown and matured from the seeds we have sown earlier. We take stock now to see what we still need for our own growth, both mentally and spiritually. And we also give thanks for what we have. This is the true Thanksgiving season. The reason the American Thanksgiving is so late in November are twofold. Firstly, the Pilgrims were ignorant of the growing season, and had the Indians not gone and brought in the harvest, they all would have died during the first bitter winter. Secondly, the United States government changed the date of Thanksgiving to always be the fourth Thursday of the month so that more shopping days could be added for Christmas shopping, thus improving our economy at the time. But that goes into the whole Yule thing. Anyway, this was also the time for replacing your old broom with a new one, as the broom is corn is ripe now. Uh, Besom making is traditional and magical during this time of the year, unless you live in extreme southern subtropical climates such as Florida or Southern California, when things are ripe in February. Um, The harvest moon was also referred to as the wine moon because the grapes also ripen now in the wine-making countries. The first wine deities were female, and the wine is one of the oldest libations known to us. It symbolizes the blood of the sacrificed gods in many religions. The apple is also a fruit that comes ripe now and is a staple of Mabon recipes, such as apple pie and apple cider. Who doesn't like a nice warm cup of apple cider on a nice cold night? Traditionally, apples were rubbed before eating to remove all demons or evil spirits that were thought to be within them. Apples are thought to restore health, aid longevity, and restore physical strength. Apples have been long associated with health, as an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Apple cider, or hard cider, was often a traditional wassailing drink, appropriate as the term wassailing means to wish good health. Beer is also appropriate at this time, as at Lammas, and also as mead, which is lightly alcoholic drink made from fermenting honey and water. As honey is mostly gathered in the fall, mead was made at this time of the year. Incidentally, the word Sabbath comes from the Babylonian Sabbat, meaning heart's rest, and was when the goddess Ishtar had her period and rested. This was her period of taboo, which originally meant set apart, and had no negative connotations, but instead was a time for women to rest from their normal labors. Only women had the sacred bleeding, therefore only women could bless the harvest or the crops. The word blessing comes from the Anglo-Saxon word bless, which means blood. Women were the greatest mystery, since only women bled and did not die, and when they did not bleed, they gave birth and shed milk. Thus, the two colors are associated with the goddess are red and white. Colors of Mabon are reds, maroons, oranges, golden, yellows, deep greens, rusettes, browns, and other colors reflective of the autumn season. The incenses are woodsy and musky, such as pine smoke, sage, or animal musk. Some of the altar decorations that you could use would be fall leaves, ears of corn, nuts, acorns, apples, fall-colored flowers, or any seasonal thing which is common where you live. Okay. Other themes include, well, some of the themes actually include the equality of day and night, and also equality among ourselves, sexual equality, racial equality, etc., etc. And what real equality means to us as a community. This is a great time to sit down and think about this. The ability to draw to one another's strengths and to honor equally all strengths, not just those of one sex or age-related ones. Balance is another theme. Balance in our lives and in the areas of our culture as symbolized by the Libran scales and what we might have to do to achieve that balance. I mentioned Lu and Gornawi before, and here's a little bit about it. In some versions, it takes place at the equinox rather than the solstice, and can be the theme for Mabon Sabbats, as also can the legend of John Barleycorn, who symbolized the sacrifice god. You can, if you have outdoor facilities and a fire permit, even make a wicker man and fill it with tokens of your harvest to burn as a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the gods. Your imagination is all you need to create as powerful a ritual as you can wish. Right. So, I hope you really enjoyed that. I know I did. And most of the information that I have found on the net doesn't really give you the whole tidbit about the scarecrow. So I thought that was actually a very interesting concept because I'd never actually truly heard it before. But I really do hope that you all enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a little something something. And try to write your own ritual now. Okay? Try to write your own ritual for Mabon. By this point, you should already be writing your spells and such, and I hope that you've actually been paying attention to 3/4 of my videos, because I know some of you kids out there have the attention span of goldfish. So, give it a shot. If you got anything to add it below, add it to the side. I don't care where you add it. Just add it somewhere, send me a message, I don't care. This is Lady Silver Vixen, I'm signing out, and the next series that I'm going to do would be the S-Bats. Okay? So you all, peace for now, and love and light be with you all.